G'day and welcome to Aussievision. I'm Dale and I'm joined by some other members of the Aussievision team. Say hello, everybody.
Hey guys.
Hello.
We have Kyriakos, Steve, Ali and Emma joining us today. We're looking at semi-final 1 of Eurovision 2020 and making predictions of how we think it would have gone, who would have qualified if the contest actually went ahead. Right, everyone, I'm going to start with a few countries that I think we should hopefully all agree on and just get them out of the way here. Give a thumbs up if you think these 4 countries are going through. Lithuania, Russia, Sweden, and Malta. Are we all thumbs up for those 4? I think they're really clear. Has anyone got any little question marks about any of them?
Well, Russia is going to nail it on the televote. I mean, it might not get much jury love, but it's sailing through on the televote.
I agree. And I kind of say on the flip side, Malta will do an amazing jury score. I still have questions about their televote score, but they're safely through. They're safely.
Agreed. And I think the other 2 maybe a mix of the 2.
Yeah, they'll be fine. Right, well, let's get on to some the other ones here. We're going to start with Australia. Is Australia going through? Thumbs up, thumbs down.
Yeah.
Thumbs up, all good. Any questions, any concerns, though, that you would have had going into it? Emma?
No, look, I think Australia is a fairly safe bet based on the feedback that I've seen online. It seems to have done well in all of the fan competitions. I think, we'll get to see her staging on Saturday night and we'll get a glimpse of what might have been. I think it was a really strong song on the studio cut, and I think the staging would have only enhanced that. I don't think there would have been a problem, that one.
And Ali, I know you weren't personally a fan of it, but you're saying thumbs up. So you think it would have had enough to get through?
Yeah, I reckon, because it's Australia. We've always done very well. And what I was reading a while ago about what the staging could have been sounded really interesting as well. Something about puppets and marionettes. So I reckon that would have been really effective and, would have been sailed through easily.
Oh, well, that's good. So, even if you don't like a song, it can get through. Right, I'm going to move on to another maybe one that might be a bit up and down here. Israel. Is Israel going through or not? I'm saying thumbs up. All right, I got 2 waivers. Kyriakos, I'm coming to you. Israel, why maybe it won't qualify? I love you sitting on the fence there too.
Yeah, Israel is one of the ones that are sitting on the fence for me. She does, her live performance, she does bring a lot of energy and fun to it. It's just more, I'm not sure where it will end up at the end or whether everyone translates to the energy that she will create. There's just so many other entries that are just slightly better.
Okay.
But yeah.
And in your wavering, if you had to make a call, would you say yes or no?
So it's Slovenia or Israel for me.
Okay, well, that'll be interesting for later.
So maybe Israel will just get through.
And Steve, you're wavering as well.
Yeah, the countries in this semi-final I've blocked into 3 blocks. Definitely going through, probably going through, and big question mark. Yeah. And Israel came in at kind of 9th, possibly 10th in my qualification. So I'm putting it through, but I wouldn't be surprised if it didn't make it.
I must say I had it in the probable as well. It kind of strikes me as a song that could be 9th and 9th, and maybe that misses out. Like, I don't think it has huge appeal in either, but it's solid. And I think I had it as probable but just sneaking through.
Yeah.
All right, so we're a bit split there, but I think majority probably just sneaking Israel through, but they were definitely on the borderline. All right, let's go through to Belarus. Is Belarus qualifying or not?
No.
No. Emma, why is this not qualifying?
The funny thing is I actually quite like the studio version of this song, but when I saw it live, I just think it's too weak live, and I just don't think there's enough about the live staging that I saw at the national final. I just think it's going to get swallowed up by the stronger songs, and there's so many stronger songs in your semi-final. I just can't see the appeal of this one at all.
Yeah, indeed. And Ali, you watched the Belarusian national final and covered it for us. Did this have any hope, or was it dead on arrival?
Personally, I liked it, but yeah, my thoughts are pretty similar to Emma's. It might get swallowed up by the stronger songs. The fact that it's not in English is probably a good thing, because it'll stand out, but the staging that they had at the national final didn't make any sense, and I had to go looking to find the meaning of the song. And so I wasn't able to translate that through the staging. Who knows what they had planned in terms of the actual staging for Rotterdam, but yeah, I think it would have got swallowed up by other songs.
Yeah. And I think when it comes to Belarus, I don't think amazing staging never comes to mind for me when I think of Belarus. All right, I'm going to move on here. I think this one might be quite positive across the board. Norway qualifying. Big thumbs up on this, Steve. I know you're a fan of this song. Why was it sailing? Why was it sailing through?
I think it's sailing through big. I mean, it's got so much support for it. It just has so much support. I think the Scandinavian countries will love it. She has an amazing voice in this semi-final. You've got Destiny doing another kind of big ballad, but it's a very different tempo. I think maybe that would have stood out if she nailed that note, because there is one big note in this song. This was flying through. I actually had it as my fourth out of the 10. You go through in fourth for me.
I think it was a pretty solid qualifier there. All right, I'm going to move swiftly on because I think that was almost like a guaranteed. Another one as well that might be an almost guaranteed, Romania. Thumbs up, thumbs down? Thumbs up across the board. Kyriakos, why is this going through?
I just think more her vocals and her live performance of Alcohol You just translated a lot more than her other selections. And yeah, I really think she'll just take it up a notch. The revamp at the end of her song, newly released song, just added that extra oomph that it needed.
It's quite a nice modern contemporary song, which I can see that jury love. And I think you're right. That moment at the end just gives it that televote, across the line, like right up there. This is fine. Should have been almost a guaranteed. All right, I'm going to move on to another interesting country. And I reckon there might be someone who might say yes to this qualifying. Ireland, yes or no? Thumbs up, thumbs down, Ireland. Oh, we got two waverers. Well, I'm going to go to you, Ali, first, because you are the resident Irish lover. But you're wavering, so you think it might not have got through, because I know you really love this song.
Yeah, I absolutely love it and loved it from the first minute I heard it, but I think I'm in the minority, unfortunately. It has not struck a chord with a lot of people. But I still had hope. I don't know what they had planned for staging. That could have been very interesting. And I've only heard her sing it live once. And I enjoyed the live vocals, and you could tell she's quite a performer, so she would have sold it on stage really well as well. But yeah, unless they somehow pulled off a Kate Miller-Heidke from last year or a Dorados from the year before, but yeah, I don't think it would have gone through. Okay,
and Emma as well, you obviously see some merit as well?
Look, I think this is one of those songs that I think it could either finish, like, if it's going to make it in, it would finish 10th. It'd be like one of the surprise ones that nobody expected. I actually quite like the song, but I think it was drawn for the first half, and I suspect that might have been the song that they put as Act 1. So whether or not that would have stuck with people or that would have worked against it, I don't know. So yeah, I wouldn't have it in my top 10, but I think it might have scraped in either 10 or 11, depending on, yeah.
I guess with a really good staging, and if someone really took to that, I mean, it wasn't without a shot, but I did have it as a, but I mean, it wasn't the worst of the bunch. I don't think so.
No, I agree.
Yeah. All right, well, let's move on. We're going to go to North Macedonia. Any hope for Vasil here for North Macedonia? Thumbs up, thumbs down. Okay, Steve's got a waiver. Steve, why did North Macedonia have a chance?
I really quite like the video. And if they can go some way to recreating that video on the stage with the dancing and the movement, I think they had a chance. He can also sing quite well live. The song is quite pedestrian. So it would boil down to, can he sing it well live? Can he reach those really kind of high, almost falsetto style notes? And what's the staging like? And I had no clue what the staging was like. So that's why I'm wavering. I think the video showed potential. Obviously, video to live stage is very different, but I think they might have put on a bit of a performance. So potential.
I think he had performance ability there. I mean, who knows? And it's such a big question mark. Maybe in the other semi-final, I think he would have had a better chance. This one, I think it was a bit of a struggle. Kyriakos, I know you hate this song with a passion. Do you feel the same way in terms of how the jury and televote would have gone? Do they agree with you?
Yeah, I'm not sure how it would have gone with either, to be honest. I don't like the song, and then the music video just made me like it more. It's because maybe I invested too much time on his previous singles, and I just thought they were so much more fun. There was a bit of more ethnicity to it. And when he released You, it just didn't translate to me. So.
And it is one of those ones, if you're starting to rely on staging from North Macedonia, you're in a bit of trouble generally, but you never know. They can pull things out sometimes. All right, let's move on. We'll go to Ukraine. Really interesting one, this one. I mean, how people would react. Thumbs up, thumbs down. All right, I'm going to start with a positive here first. Emma, why is this going through?
There's something about this song. I can't even put my finger on it. I think I might have mentioned to you earlier that when I first listened to all of the Ukrainian national final songs, this was the first one that I listened to, and never did I think it would be my top ranked song when I listened to it the first time. And but I came back to it. There was something about it, even though at times I found it a little bit grating, the vocal style, but just I enjoyed the dance movement, the emotion of the singer. There was just something about it that drew me in, that made this performance stand out to me. And I think, it's one that I would like to see this get through. I know it's a bit up in the air, but I think it really brings something to the competition.
It certainly sticks out, and it's almost hypnotic, even though you can find those vocals grating, particularly the first time. Steve, so you're wavering. Why do you think this might not have qualified?
I don't like the vocals at all, and it made me think of Poland's Tulia from last year. So when you throw in something that's so vocally diverse, does it get people on board or does it not? No, I think Solveig had a bigger following, so I think it probably would have got through, but this would have turned a lot of people off. And so for me, it's a Marmite song, and I don't like Marmite.
Yeah. No, fair enough. And Ali, you're positive as well for Ukraine?
Yeah, I really liked it, and it seems that a lot of other fans have liked it as well. My only concern would be that vocal and whether the juries will like that or not. But yeah, overall, I reckon that it would have gotten through no problem.
And I think it's interesting because Tulia obviously just missed out last year. And I think even if you actually did the recount, they would have qualified with the right juries, I think it was. And I feel like this is a stronger entry, though this is a stronger semi-final. I think it just has a little bit more going for it. So I think that's why I put it in. But I did definitely have it probably in that 9th or 10th. And I would have loved to have known how this would have gone. It's the most intriguing song of the lot. I'm not sure if I like it or don't like it. All right, let's move on. Slovenia, thumbs up, some thumbs down for Slovenia. Oops, no, I always said thumbs up. All right, Steve, I know you're a fan of the song. Why could have it got through?
I think it goes back to what I was saying about Norway as well. It's that standout factor. So there is another big ballad I forgot to say before. Maybe with a battle of the ballads, and therefore they'd kind of cancel each other out. But I think she has so much power behind her voice, lights this well and staged this well, and this jury fodder, can't see it getting much public love at all. I think the televote would have probably been awful, other than maybe from neighbouring countries. But I can see it scraping through in 10th, possibly, as a bit of jury love. Because there's always a surprise. And
there's always,
yeah,
no, you're right. And I guess Lisa's had something to stand out from it, because I would say she's easily one of the top vocalists in the whole competition. And this would have definitely had a moment. It's just the rest of the song. But anyway, that's my personal taste. Kyriakos, why would this not qualify?
Yeah, so I was sitting on the fence with Slovenia, and the only thing that's maybe getting me over the line sometimes are her vocals. It does remind me a lot of Serbia last year. just slightly, and maybe it would have the same fate. But her vocals I found her vocals outstanding, but there was nothing else. It wasn't giving me anything else.
Oh, true. With a better song, she was sanitary.
Yeah, agree.
I know, she's great. And I think you might have said it in the podcast, Steve, that I think this had staging potential. What you could have done with LEDs around those moments when you have the dull side, you could like distract it with some good LED use from the boring parts and give her vocal something really big to work on. It wasn't without a chance, but I'm still saying a definite bum bum. All right, let's move on. Azerbaijan, Cleopatra. Thumbs up, thumbs down. Thumbs up, thumbs up. Ali, why is Azerbaijan going through?
It's a fun song, catchy song. A lot of fans have enjoyed it. It should translate well with jurors, and it's just so different and so uniquely Azerbaijani, I guess.
Kind of one of those Eastern pop bangers. Emma, what about you? Why is it going through?
Yeah, look, I think it's just one of those songs that, you could just throw everything at it with the staging and it would just elevate it. And it's just so different. To be honest, I wasn't actually sure if I liked it the first time I heard it. I didn't know what to think. But when I watched it a few more times, I sort of thought this is going through regardless of what I think. It's just her vocal style, the cost. I think you could just do amazing things with the costuming and the staging. It's sort of just the way the way she sings Cleopatra. People are going to be would be yelling that out. I just think it's just got a lot to get people in. I don't think that would have been up for debate at all, that one.
Totally. I would have. I'm so gutted not to see the staging of this because it would have been everything. Like whether you liked it or not, it would have been everything on the staging. All right, that's pretty much sailing through. Like, let's get another really interesting one here. Belgium. Thumbs up, thumbs down to Belgium. Oh, I've got a few waivers. I'm surprised. And a big thumbs up, Kyriakos. Why is this getting through?
I really think it's different to all the other entries. And
it's different, all right?
Yeah.
Boring.
But maybe it will draw more of the older and sophisticated crowd. But I just found that out of all the other entries, so different. And if the performance was really good and polished, it might have stood out.
No, true. We had a couple of other waivers there. Now, I think you're a fan of the song, Steve. So I'm interested to hear what you think.
Yeah, no, it's one of those songs where I've put my personal taste aside, and that's why it's wavering. For me, it would be a yes. Personal taste makes it wavering. I was surprised it did so well. It has done so well in other polls that's been conducted. Yeah. In fact, a very recent poll that was conducted, which had it qualifying in semi-final 1 and then coming 5th in the grand final.
I'm going to point something out on that one. The guys who run it are Belgian.
Well, that makes more sense. That makes a lot more sense.
But I mean, it's still you had to get the jury vote. So
So that baffled me, and that made me go from thinking I like it, but it won't qualify, to that kind of maybe it would.
Right.
Any other thoughts, maybe Ali or Emma?
My thoughts are pretty similar to Steve's actually. The times I've heard it, it hasn't like made any impact on me, but like seeing the fact that it qualified and did so well in that poll did shock me a bit. And I feel like one of those ones that could, with the right staging, could have made an impact similar to Duncan last year, like just the right atmosphere and the right setting. Maybe it could have done really well, but we'll never know.
And I think because it's so on the border, I want to hear from you as well, Emma, because I think we all have very interesting opinions on this one.
Yeah, I think this is another one of those ones that if it did get through, it would be one of the surprise ones in 11th or 12th. My concern, I find it a very similar song to Senek from a couple of years ago. And I think that's a much better song. Yeah. So I guess, and that didn't make it through. So I guess that's what's leading me to think that I don't think, unless they did something amazing with the staging, and obviously in the video for this song, we saw they had an orchestra, which obviously you can't recreate live on the stage. I just don't think this one would have gone through.
Sorry, Steve.
I agree that Senek was a better song, but it was staged bloody awfully.
True.
Well, that's true.
But,
That's true.
Yes.
But this is a much
that's
worse
why
song.
It needed to be, it would have to have done something really interesting with the staging, and I'm not
That's
sure
right.
how.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I agree.
But yeah, not without a shot, which is interesting because it was this is such a tough semi, and yeah, I think more I think about it, maybe it did have a little bit of a shot. All right, Croatia, thumbs up, thumbs down. Thumbs down across the board. Kyriakos, why is this not getting through?
I actually do like the song, but it's just something we've always heard at Eurovision, and it just unfortunately doesn't excite me like the other songs in the semi-final, and that's basically it, really.
So no potential for any love from jury or televote?
Maybe some jury appeal, but that's it.
Anyone have any other thoughts on Croatia?
Well, we know he can sing, and so the only ability for this to qualify would be from the jury perspective. I can't remember which other friendly nations would perhaps be voting in this semi-final. I don't know.
Slovenia, and I think that's it. I think they were really lacking the neighbours. Yeah,
I just felt semi-final 2, this would be borderline for me.
Yep.
This semi-final, no.
I know, I have to agree. I think it actually would have had a decent chance in semi-2. This semi-final, yeah, I just can't see where the votes are coming from. Right, and I believe, unless I've missed someone out, but I'm pretty sure I haven't, the last country is Cyprus. Thumbs up, thumbs down. Oh, poor Alfie Alkuri. Big thumbs down across the board. Ali, why is this not getting through?
There's just so many more better songs, really. It's unless staging again, like unless they blew it out of the water. Yeah, there's just so many more songs that are just that much better.
No, fair enough. And Emma?
Yeah, look, I agree with Ellie. I think like it's actually not a bad song, and the more I listen to it, the more I like it. But I just wonder how this would be staged in a way that would make it impactful enough to knock out any of the other songs. That's my issue with it, I guess. Is that I think it's one of those ones that could sneak in, but it's unlikely unless they just blew it out of the water with the staging.
You'd have to do a fuego, really.
Yes, absolutely. And
I don't think they don't have the hair for it. But Kyriakos, I'm really intrigued about what you think of this because you don't mind the song, do you?
I personally love the song, and I love it sounds very Alfie as well, obviously. But it's more to do with staging. He would have to wow us and really impress us all to get through, I think. It just sounds like a very like remix dance track, and just seeing it on stage, I just can't really imagine it.
So, same. That was my issue with it. Is that I actually I really can't even judge the song in the Eurovision perspective. I think I said in the pod that because it's such a dance remixy sounding song, I just don't even know what they were going to do, how this was going to be presented, and how he was going to sing it. So it's an interesting one. I think it could have got better. I think I could have really liked it, but I just don't think it had enough to get through overall. Steve?
Cat. No, the point of the cat. She was going to.
I thought you were like, I really want to talk about Cyprus.
It's the song, or maybe one or two songs, that I genuinely forget is in the contest. Like I just forget about it. And that doesn't mean I don't like it. I don't really have any strong feelings either way. I just keep forgetting it's there. And so if I imagine watching or listening to these 17 songs at the end, would I remember this one? Probably not, unless I don't know.
Something dramatic happens on stage.
Well, yeah, they had like I don't know. I can't
Stage
imagine
invader.
how they could have staged it to make me remember it. So
Fair enough. All right. Well, we've gone through all our qualifiers here, and I'm going to hit you up with something you didn't prepare you for. Who is going to win the semi-final? This semi-final. If you have to look at it there. Right. I'm going to throw to Emma first. Who's going to win the semi?
Ooh. This is a tough one. I think either, can I narrow it down to two? I think either Lithuania or Russia would be one of those two. Okay, I'll go out on a limb. I would have said Russia.
All right, awesome. Ali, who's going to win this semi?
Oh, it's a tough one, but I'm going to go Sweden, actually, because I get why Emma said Lithuania or Russia, but I feel like their televote score would have been great, and maybe not necessarily the jury score, whereas with Sweden's, I feel like it would have been higher, like more equal in both.
No, fair enough. That makes sense. Steve.
Norway.
Interesting. Okay. And Kyriakos.
And I'm going to go with the dark horse with the big voice, Malta. She's going to do a Dami in, and she would have blown the us away.
I tend to disagree, but anyway, if I had, I find this a really hard one to pick because semis are always weird. You get a weird winner because, I actually going to agree with Ali. I think Sweden, or even to a point, Steve, I think that Norway and Sweden would have dropped a lot behind the Lithuanians and Russia in the grand final once they start losing televote with bigger songs. A bit like how Australia always does so great in a semi and then kind of drops away. I think we would have seen something like a Sweden or Norway be a surprise winner of this, but then other songs like Lithuania, Malta, and Russia get ahead of them in the final. So I'll say Sweden to pick one as well. All right. Well, thanks very much for joining us. Some interesting ones there. I thought this was going to be a bit more straightforward than it was. You guys had some shock qualifiers there and a lot of sitting on the fence. I'll say that as well. So we'll be talking about the grand final as well at some point. So look out on our YouTube channel for that. And thanks everyone for joining. See you later.
See ya.
Bye.